What if I told you that one of the India's most profitable fintech companies never raised a single rupee from investors? No venture capitalist, no Shark Tank funding, no IPO hype. And yet, today it generates more than 8,000 crores in revenues and thousands of crores in profit. This is the story of Zerodha, a company that quietly disrupted India's stock market and became a billion-dollar giant, completely bootstrapped. In a startup world obsessed with valuations, funding rounds, and unicorn status, Zerodha chose a completely different path: profitability, simplicity, and long term thinking. Before 2010, investing in the Indian stock market was expensive and complicated. Traditional brokers charged brokerage fees between 0.3% to 0.5% per trade. That means if you traded shares worth rupees 1 lakh, you could end up paying 300 to 500 in brokerage for a single transaction. And if you were an active trader, those costs add up quickly. On top of that, there were hidden charges, annual maintenance fee, call and trade charges, and complicated contract notes that most retail investors didn't even understand. Trading platforms were outdated and confusing. You often had to depend on dealers to place trade. The system was not built for the small investors. It was built for institutions and high net worth individuals. For the average middle class Indian, the stock market felt intimidating and exclusive. In 2010, Nitin Kamath and Nikhil Kamath decided to challenge this system. Nitin had already been a trader and understood the pain of high brokerage and poor technology. Instead of accepting the system, he decided to break it. They launched Zerodha with a simple but powerful idea: reduce the cost of trading and make investing accessible to everyone. Their biggest disruption was pricing. Zerodha introduced zero brokerage on delivery trades and a flat rupees 20 per trade for intraday and F&O. Not a percentage, not a variable, a simple flat fee. This single decision changed the entire industry. Whether you traded 10,000 or 10 lakhs, you paid the same 20 rupees. Suddenly, retail investors were saving thousands of rupees every month. But Zerodha didn't just reduce prices, they focused heavily on technology. They built Kite, a clean and fast trading platform that was simple to use, mobile friendly, and transparent. Unlike traditional brokers, Zerodha invested in building its own tech stack instead of relying on outdated systems. Then came something even more powerful: education. Zerodha launched Varsity, a completely free stock market education platform. They didn't charge for courses, they didn't push paid subscriptions. They simply made education for customers easy. This built massive trust. Instead of encouraging customers to trade more just to generate brokerage revenue, Zerodha focused on empowering them with knowledge. That long term trust became their biggest marketing strategy. While competitors like Grow and Upstock were raising hundreds of millions from venture capitalist firms, Zerodha chose to remain bootstrapped. This gave them freedom. They didn't have investor pressure to grow aggressively. They didn't need to burn cash on ads or sponsorship. They didn't need to chase unrealistic valuations. They focused on profitability from the beginning, and the result speaks for themselves. Zerodha generates thousands of crores in profit annually. Has become India's first profitable fintech unicorn without raising external funding. In a market where many startups struggle to survive without continuous funding, Zerodha built a self-sustaining machine. Over the years, Zerodha steadily grew its user base. As internet penetration increased and smartphone usage exploded in India, more retail investors entered the market. Zerodha was perfectly positioned to capture this growth. Today, it is one of the India's largest stock broker, serving millions of active clients. It handles a significant share of daily retail trading volumes in India. Without flashy marketing campaigns, without celebrity endorsement, most of its growth came from word of mouth, community trust, and a strong product. Of course, Zerodha's journey has not been without challenges. Regulatory challenges, especially in the derivative markets, have impacted brokerage revenue across the industries. Competition from funded players like Grow and Upstocks have intensified. But Zerodha's strong balance sheet, high profitability, and loyal customer base gives it a stability. Unlike many startups that depend on external capital, Zerodha can survive market downturns because it generates real profit. There are powerful lessons here for the entrepreneur. First, solve a real problem. Zerodha didn't create an artificial demand, they fixed a broken pricing model. Second, profitability matters more than valuation. In the long run, cash flow gives freedom and control. Third, simplicity wins. Their pricing was simple, their platform was simple, their communication was simple. Fourth, educate your customers. When customers trust you, they stay with you. And finally, bootstrapping builds discipline. When you grow with your own money, you make smarter decisions. Zerodha's story is not just about trading or stock markets. It is about challenging an old system and replacing it with something better. In a world where startups chase hype and headlines, Zerodha quietly built one of India's most profitable fintech companies. They didn't win because they raised money. They won because they removed barriers. And sometimes true disruption is not about building something flashy. It's about making something complicated simple. This is Zerodha's billion-dollar journey. Thank you everyone for staying till the end. If you liked this story and case study, please do follow us and stay updated for more such case studies.